Hello, my name is Johnny Regan, and if you're watching this video, it's because, like me, you've been scouring the internet and various other sources looking for ways to control your drinking. For me, I'm historically been a very heavy drinker. For the last few years, been 2 to 4 bottles of wine a night on a work night, and the weekends could be any amount. And it's not sustainable, and you reach a certain point in life where you go, alright, this can't go on. You've been there, I've been there, there's no need to go into the personal aspects of the whole thing. Just focus on what we're doing here today, or what I'm going to be showing you here today is a tool that I developed. It's a very simple Excel sheet, and it's just a way to help you control your drinking. It's just another tool. There's so much stuff out there. There's so many resources available. This may not work for everybody, but it really works for me. I started it in May of this year, early May. It's now late December, and you'll see yourself in a while there how well it has worked for me. Complete abstinence is something I've done before, but it just doesn't suit my lifestyle. I'm always going to be a drinker, and that's just the way I am. So it's imperative for me to get control of it. So it's just a graph system. There's 3 graphs we're going to go through. We'll get to those there now shortly. And it's just something that you record every day, and if you don't record it in a day, you can come back at the end of the week and backfill it. There's no problem. It's very flexible, and again, it's just a picture. It just gives you a picture of your own drinking and kind of gives you an incentive to apply a little bit of control on yourself. So my name is Johnny. You can see I've called this spreadsheet Control Yourself Johnny. So let's get into it. Why not? So as you can see on the screen there, we have what I typically drink is pints of beer, stout, or bottles of wine. I don't drink much spirits, but you can add spirits there. And I'm in Ireland. For us, a pint is about 2 units, and a bottle of wine is about 8 units of alcohol. So your unit counting is what you're doing, and you do it every day. So what we do, you can see here in the 3rd column. So first column is just the days of the week, and we measure this from Monday to Sunday. Second one is the date. That's fine. So this is where we kind of get into the nuts of it. It's a very simple sheet. So we have column 3 there is units projected. So that's before you start drinking. How many units you kind of consider realistic and reasonable for that day. You might plan it over the week. You do it whatever you want, right? So for me, when I started this, I said, right, I'll try to reduce myself to 1 bottle of wine a day for the week, for the weekdays. So I input an amount of 8. That's 8 units, 1 bottle of wine. So that's column C. Column D then is the units in reality that you actually drink. Okay, so you can see I'm not in control there. I'm over every day there, bar Tuesday and Wednesday, right? So we'll have a look at the first graph, because this data will be output in 3 graphs, and the 3 of them are very, very useful. I found it to be so anyway. So let's just scroll down. So we've been keeping this up all year, and here we go. So the top graph, the blue bars are column C. So the blue bars are what you project. Before you start drinking, what you say, well, I'd be happy drinking this amount today. And if you stick within that, if your number in column D matches the number in column C, that's a green bar, because you're in control there. You projected what you're going to drink and you stayed within it. If you go over what you projected, you're not in control, so that's a red bar. And ultimately you want to reduce the amount of red. You can see here, when I started this in May, I'm not in control at all, you know. I'm still not in control, to be honest with you, but I'm in more control than I was. So we'll just go through the year here, how it's been, and before we do that, we might just look at this bottom graph. So column E is your weekly total. So it's what you drank that week, and it comes out on the Sunday. So that's just a count of what I drank that week. The total amount of units I drank on any given week is in column E, and that's the bottom graph. So that'll be a flat line for the entirety of the week, and it'll go up and down depending on how much or how little you drink. So if we start going through the year here, you can see it's all quite red. I had a week there now where I kept it to 1 bottle of wine and ice. So we've got green bars, more red bars. A yellow bar is what you input, is you make the colour, and just to colour the graph you just right click, edit, and you can click on any of these, click once, click twice, format data point, and you can make that any colour you want. That's fine, don't do that. So the yellow bars is when you drank less than you projected. So you like to see yellow bars. They're good to see. So you can see for most of the year there, nice period of relative control here. It wasn't quite as chaotic as it had been in the previous few weeks. And it goes on, a lot of red, and you can see I'm drinking every day here. So May, June, July, I'm just drinking every day, and it's not really sustainable. So I'd kind of said to myself when I hit a certain time in my life, I said that I was going to get control of it, and in order to get control, it was going to involve alcohol-free days, and I designated Monday to Thursday, and that's what I tried to keep to now. Keep those 4 days alcohol-free. And you can see here for much of August I've increased my allowable, because I knew I was on a bit of a, just the way I was drinking a lot, and but I was comfortable with my amount, I was happy with that. So my amount there was 2 bottles of wine and ice, and I largely kept to that, and that was okay. It's still a lot of drink, but I rarely went over that, so I was kind of in control even though I was drinking a lot. It's kind of hard to understand that, but it's about control. But you can see there I'm going fucking way off here now on the 7th of September, whatever happened there. 5 bottles of wine that night by the look of things. But I was kind of determined this period of relative control kind of led up to having days of abstinence, and I was kind of very determined to do it, and just not drink for those few days, and I managed it. So for those days, we'll just go back up the chart a bit, back to September. So you input in column C just a unit of 4, and that's just to give a bar on the chart. If you put in 0, there's nothing there to colour, so there's nothing you can see. I didn't drink anything, so that comes in, column D is a 0. And you just paint the existing bar. There's no secondary bar here beside these, because there's no value there, because it's a 0 return. So you just make those bars white. And those white bars say that they were alcohol-free days. So I was very happy with myself getting alcohol-free days in. You can see the graph there, it comes right down, and I'm still out of control at the weekends. I'm still binging. I projected 8 on the 13th, 16 on the 14th, 8 on the 15th, and I went over, nearly double every day, but that's okay. You're reducing the problem now somewhat to the weekends. So manage it the next week, kept 4 days clear, binge at the weekend. Next week, 3 days clear, binge at the weekend, and so on. So I was still binging at the weekends, but I was getting a lot of clear days in a row, and my graph was kind of coming down here, and you're drinking less, and prior to September, it had been on my mind. Like, I started taking the chart with the intention of reducing intake and just reducing overall consumption and gaining control. The two things: reduce consumption, get it under control. And I think that's what most people that have alcohol use disorders, it's a phrase coined by Lewis David. He produces great literature on alcohol addictions and various other addictions, as far as I know. But Lewis David, he produces great material, very much worth reading. So here we are, October. Okay, I had a week there where I drank again during the week, and quite a bit. But that's okay. Don't be too hard on yourself. Life is tough. And yeah, so another week here. I abstained for 4 days. Next week I didn't, and so on. So it kind of started creeping back in. I wasn't getting as many white days and a lot of red bars there. You're out of control. So this is where I am at the moment. This was last week. I had 3 days alcohol free, and I had quite a good weekend. I didn't drink as much as I drank what I projected on the Friday, less than on the Saturday, and a bit more than on the Sunday. On the Monday, I drank a bit more. That should have been a white day. I had 2 bottles of wine last night, for whatever reason. So I'm hoping now for the rest of this week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. It's now Tuesday, and I won't drink tonight. I know I won't. So that's the nuts and bolts of it, right? We're just producing these graphs. You're only really, you're populating column C and column D. Column C, what you project; column D, what you actually drink. And you get these output graphs that give you a picture, and it's a useful picture. Now there's a third graph. Again, you don't put in any further numbers. This next graph is the total years. You can see the bottom there, it goes 1 to 52. That's 52 weeks of the year, and that's a very erratic looking line, which is reflective of the way I drink. It's just very fucking all over the place, which would be indicative of most problematic drinkers. There's a fucking level of chaos there that is just there, and we just live with it. But if we insert a trend line here, if we just go to any point, give it a colour that'll brighten up. So we can see, this is what I'm encouraged, this is what I'm happy about, that over the course of the year my overall drinking is reducing, and it's been very useful. It's been a very useful tool for me, and it's inspiring me now to go into 2025 and reduce it further, and to make a big effort to normalise the graph, in that you're drinking a similar amount every week. You're not binging. You're going to have weeks where things happen and it doesn't work, but you're trying to just make the picture a bit more life affirming, I guess. You're trying to stabilise your habit, So that's about it, really. You can see my email is on top of the screen there. It's jgoregan@gmail.com. This graph is set up in LibreOffice. You can do it in Excel. Say it's not complicated, but if you do want help with it, I'll set one up for you. Just get in touch, jgoregan@gmail.com. We'll do a Teams meeting or wherever you want. I say this is just a tool. It's kind of working for me, and it might work for you too. And I'm just sharing it because drink issues can be difficult, and small things make a big difference. So this is one tool. The other tools that I've used now were I took up dancing and started going to the gym more, and walking the dog a bit more. So just doing other things with your evenings and just scheduling in other things to do rather than just sit and look at the four walls. But if you're reading this, you know the score. You've got your own problems and you've been dealing with it for a long time, and you know that little things can make a big difference. So that's the end of this video. Hope you got something out of it, and get in touch if you want to ask any questions, or if you'd like a bit of help setting up your own sheet. Okay, thank you, and happy Christmas and a happy New Year. Alright, bye now.